Hey guys, welcome back to Broken Journey the podcast. I am your host, Elba Rivera. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you are having a good morning, a good afternoon, or a good evening. Whenever it is that you're listening to this podcast, I hope that your day is going well. In this podcast today, I'm talking about your inner circle. Who is in your circle? So, sit back, relax, and enjoy this short and sweet message. Hey guys, today I wanted to talk a little bit about who is in your circle. Who are your circle of friends? Right? And when I say circle of friends, it doesn't necessarily mean that they have to be non-blood related, right? Because some people have a sister, some people have a cousin, some people may have several sisters or brothers and things like that who are really true good friends with each other, right? I'm grateful that I am able to have a mixture of both, right? Family and friends. And when I started looking at this topic and thinking about this topic, what came to me was the phrase, dime con quién andas y te diré quién eres. And for those of you who don't speak Spanish, it's show me who you walk with and I'll tell you who you are. And every time I would hear that as a teenager, it would irritate me, like, whatever, this and that. And again, when you're a teenager, you think you know it all, you have attitude and all the hormones and all that other stuff that's going on in your life at the moment. You're trying to keep up with your friends and things like that. But when I think about that, a lot of times you think of these phrases in English and in Spanish as a negative term. And as I grew older and you go through friends who are supposedly your friends and all these other things that happen, people come in and out of your life. And a lot of the times we don't realize that when someone is in your life for the moment and they disappear or whatever the case may be, they stop being your friend, whatever, this is like a learning lesson, right? They are there to either teach you a lesson, and the lesson can be something positive. It doesn't necessarily have to be negative, but it can be, right? Or they're there to plant a seed, right? And that seed, again, this is based on a positive seed, right? When that person is there to plant the seed, is there to help you grow or to show you that there's different ways to do things, to show you that it's not only one way of doing things in life, right? And so just remember, when you are in a space and you see that this person, for some odd reason, just stopped talking to you, for some odd reason, disappeared in your life, or for some odd reason is not, available anymore, is because that person that was in your life for that moment no longer is a value to you, right? Or vice versa. You are no longer a value to that person. You were there for a reason, to teach them something and to keep going. So never look at things in a bad way. Look at it as this person was there for a season and you keep moving, right? But you always want to make sure that you are surrounded by positive people. And when I say positive people, I say people who are going to motivate you, right? When they see that you are down, when they see that you are not feeling yourself, they're going to help motivate you to keep going, to keep moving, that, what you're going through is temporary. And you also want to get people who are there to encourage you whenever you are dealing with a project that you want to do in your life. Let's say you want to open up a business and you find yourself, struggling. You find yourself really kind of questioning some of the things that you are doing. Sometimes when you are in that box, you can't see outside of it, right? And the person who you are confiding in might see something that you don't see. And there is when that person will step in and encourage you when you need it most. And a lot of the times that I'm going to talk based on my experience, right? I'm a person who is a go, 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 on the go, always on the go, doing so many things. I have, so many things that I juggle at one time that sometimes I can burn out a little bit. And it's always good to be able to go to someone in your circle and say, hey, you know what? I'm feeling overwhelmed right now. I don't know what's going on. And sometimes you don't realize what you're doing because you're so used to doing it, right? It's like a habit that you're constantly going back and forth, 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 that when you least expect it, it shuts you down. And those habits are seriously hard to break. And let me just give you an example. The other day, I got a message from a friend, and she was like, hey, girl, I was just thinking about you. I was just, seeing how you were doing and things like that. And, I sent her a voice message back, and I was like, girl, it's been a crazy, day, and I have so many things going on. I feel like I'm losing myself and trying to get everything done all at once and things like that. And all of a sudden, it just hit me like a ton of bricks, and I just started crying in the message, like, what the hell? What is going on? And I'm like, sometimes you are so on the go that you don't take time to sit back, look at what you're trying to do, focus on giving yourself a break, right? And, I'm so grateful that, she told me, hey, girl, you know what? When you have a minute, just give me a call. Let's talk it out. Let's talk about, what's going on, and maybe there's something that I can help you with and things like that. And again, I'm so grateful that I have a good circle of friends that can say these things and help me, how do you say this? Help me, pick at what is really going on. Because when you have that habit of just being on the go, 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 you forget to stop, take a deep breath, and, say to yourself, you know what? You're doing the best that you can do for this moment. A lot of the times you want it to be perfect, and it's not always going to be perfect. It's not always going to be perfect. And that's where your circle of friends come in. They're there to support you. They're there to give you advice. They're there to help you depict what, is truly going on. And they give you constructive criticism, right? And you have to be willing to accept that criticism. Because when a person is looking outside, when a person from outside is looking inside, they can probably see things that you don't see. And so I'm so grateful that my friend, told me give her a call. When I started talking to her, it kind of made sense. Oh, but you're going too hard on yourself. You want to have these things yesterday when in reality it is not going to happen that way. It's not going to happen overnight. So sometimes you have to release B so that you can finish A, right? And once you're finished with A, then you can start working on B and then C and D and so on and so forth, right? You don't want to overwhelm yourself in doing, too many tasks at once. Sometimes it's okay to not multitask, right? Sometimes you have to not multitask because what needs to be done sometimes is really crucial. And you need to focus and you need to work on that solely. And a lot of the times I have an issue with not multitasking. I have a love-hate relationship with multitasking. Basically, right? But anyway, I just wanted to kind of talk about having a good circle of friends so that when you need them most, they are there for you. And vice versa. Again, it's not only about feeding you, it's about you feeding them as well. When a person is down or when a person is having a rough patch in their life, and a lot of the times people will stay quiet when they're going through these rough patches, right? Because they're afraid of criticism. They're afraid of people gossiping about their life and, talking crap about them and blah, 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 blah. And, you want to be able to confide in a person and that person not give all your details or your information, and rather help you through that situation and give you advice when you need it. And then there's sometimes when being a friend, a person is asking just to listen to them, right? They're asking for you to just listen to what they have to say because they need to release the stress. They need to release the anger, or they just want to vent. And there's nothing wrong with that. If they don't want to hear your advice and they just want to vent, then be there for them during that time. So anyway, guys, know who are your circle of friends. Know who's in your circle. Make sure that you guys in that circle are motivating each other, are encouraging each other, are supporting each other, are giving each other advice when needed, and giving constructive criticism when needed as well. And also you as a person, remember to be open to these things, especially constructive criticism and advice, right? A lot of the times we don't want to take somebody's advice and, or their constructive criticism, or you'll get pissed off because, sometimes constructive criticism can hurt. And you need to remember that this person is looking outside of the box. I mean, inside. You are inside and they are outside. I keep getting that wrong. But anyway, you know what I'm trying to say here, right? Make sure that you are there for each other and encourage each other each step of the way. And for those who are out of your life, for those of you who are in your life for a season, just remember that person is doing the purpose that God sent them to do, and it was their time to leave your life. Just remember, always look at what the lesson is, because the lesson is there to push you forward, to move you forward, to give you the tools that you need for that season in your life. I hope this message has given you some insight and has encouraged you as a friend, has encouraged you as a person. And to all my friends out there who are listening, thank you so much for always being there for me. And I hope that I have been there for you as much as you have for me. Bye, guys. Hi, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this message today. And I hope you were able to take something away from it. Something that you would be able to use in your life today. And if you enjoyed this message or any of my other messages, please share with your friends and family. Thank you so much. Bye.